All right, welcome back to 80s Music Twin Rank.
Yeah, we decided to take a week off just to
do the Super Bowl.
Vacation.
Like a vacation, yes. Interestingly, the artist we're doing today was a halftime Super Bowl artist.
Yeah. We took a week off. It wasn't a permanent vacation, though.
Good one. Yes, so if, at the very least, what the Super Bowl halftime show this week did was show today's music sucks.
Yes.
They tried to hone in on hip-hop, obviously.
Yeah, I like some of the artists that were up there and the songs they picked. They're okay songs for
but it was bland, very bland. I mean, I like the construction set model they put out there, the houses. That was kind of cool. But then Eminem, he was the only one that I would have watched, and then he took a knee having to support Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah, he wasn't the first. Colin Kaepernick wasn't even the first one to take a knee. That would have been Tanya Harding.
She took Nancy Kerrigan's. Okay, so we're on Aerosmith this week.
Yeah. And Aerosmith actually was part of a halftime Super Bowl.
Yes, yeah, 2001 with Britney Spears and NSYNC, which was Justin Timberlake before he split off into a solo artist. And that was, to me, I just watched it. That was a better show than this past week.
And right before the show, the reporter, the female reporter said, "This is going to be the best one ever." And all the comments later was, "No one's going to beat Prince."
No. And I did hear there were a lot of people who said that it was the best show ever. Those people are called
idiots.
Yes. I thought you were going to say millennials, but yes,
they're idiots.
Idiots is the correct answer, not millennials.
Also, I think I told somebody at work, the reporter said this is going to be the best show ever. And then the guy told me, well, they say that every year.
Oh, it's like he took his play from John Cougar.
Because he says every time he makes an album, this is the best album I've
put out. Well, what's she supposed to say? All right, get ready for some crap. And then, every year you hear the commercials were pretty good this year, and they weren't.
I didn't see it. It was like top 10. If they had a top, I'm surprised if they even would have had a top 10. Top 10 woke commercials would be what it'd be called now.
Yep. Top 10. Honestly, they should stick just to doing movie trailers.
Right.
Well, every commercial.
Well, that's the thing with the commercials is now it's all about a message.
Yep.
Whereas when we used to watch them, it was about seeing who had the funniest or wittiest.
Yep, and those people don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
All you have to do is watch late night talk shows to realize sense of humors are not allowed.
Oh yeah, comedians are no longer funny.
Yep. So that got comedy canceled. All right, back to Aerosmith.
Done with rant.
All right, so they started back in 1973, way back then.
Actually, they were formed in 1970, which is when we were born,
right? And they were based out of Boston, which that's a band we'll be doing.
Two different bands. Steven Tyler had a band, I don't remember the name. And Joe Perry had a band called the Jam Band.
The Jam Band.
And they both played at a gig, and Steven Tyler liked the other band, and they're like, we should combine. So that's kind of how they did it. He played drums for his band.
Who did?
Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler played
drums. But he said to the band they were forming, he goes, I don't want to play drums. I want to be the front man. And they agreed to it.
Yeah.
It's probably a good choice.
Yeah. Which is amazing. I mean, you look at him now, he's a really good front man.
Yeah.
But back then when we were watching him and Mick Jagger, I always thought, how the heck are these guys so popular?
And I read even that they're compared kind of together because they look so similar.
Right.
Steven Tyler and Mick Jagger.
But I don't think Mick Jagger had the ability to do the things with his lips that
Mick Jagger
Steven Tyler.
Oh, Steven Tyler.
Steven Tyler. You listen to the end of Ragdoll.
Yeah.
Where he's going, whatever he's doing. He knows how to do things. The only other guy that is comparable, maybe George Thorogood. Because I can.
Bad.
How do you keep up with that?
What about
Welcome to the Jungle?
Axl Rose doing
Axl
no.
Yeah, I can't do that either. So Steven Tyler probably could do both of those. Right? All right, with the lips flapping and everything. Okay, so they formed in 1970. 3 years later, they put out their self-titled, which has "Dream On."
Right.
The only song
It only reached 59.
didn't reach,
It didn't reach higher until I think it went to 5 after "Sweet Emotion"
2 songs of
and
his
"Walk
did that.
This Way" came out. Then "Dream On" was, I think it was re-released.
They have a
And it
bunch
went
of
up to
songs.
5.
Actually, they have at least 3 or 4 that got re-released.
Yeah. And you told me not last week, 2 weeks ago, that it's the only time Steven Tyler sang in his normal voice because he doesn't sound like that in anything else. If you listen to "Dream On," it
doesn't sound like him. You're wondering who else is in Aerosmith singing, and it's him. Somebody
He's just not doing his singing.
Somebody put in his real voice. It's like the other one is a fake voice. That's not him. So no, he used his normal talking voice. I guess I don't know that I've ever heard him talk like that either. But yeah, so it doesn't sound like him because he sang a different way. It was a song for his dad or something like that. And that was "Dream On," and that's one of the few older songs that still gets played today.
Yeah.
From them.
"Sweet Emotion" gets "Walk This Way."
Yeah, I just heard "Walk This Way" on the
Yeah, I hear Aerosmith's one of the rare bands where on the classic rock station I hear every single older song.
Similar to Tom Petty.
Yeah, same old song and dance, train kept rolling. You always hear those. The only one of the songs before their big comeback, which is all like the album right before it.
Done with Mirrors.
Let the Music.
Do the Rock.
Yeah, that one I don't hear ever.
I forgot to.
I remember it being on the radio.
I don't think I put it on our list. Matter of fact, that might be the first song I remember hearing from them on MTV, but they weren't big.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, this is a bland song, similar to like the one they played first. You know, the guy you don't know who it is. That's their rotation. But yeah, they got big right after that. And what's funny is when they got big, I'm not sure it's even because of them. You know,
It's because of Run DMC.
Run DMC
yeah.
was getting popular, and they used that song, and they actually sang the song.
And they had a video. They had a video where Aerosmith was in the next room.
Right. They were starting to play, and then the screen bust through.
Well, they bust. I don't know if they bust through right away, or is it they busted through? I remember Joe Perry walking through when he was doing his solo. I don't know if they.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to watch it, but I
wasn't interested enough to really look at it. But I know that was a year right before the Permanent Vacation came out. It's like, and he's like, "We're just stealing our song." He's doing this one thing. We're just stealing our song for it. And obviously, they got him in the video, so they did it with his permission. Makes it look like
and that video kind of says that brought Aerosmith into a new generation to hear them.
Yeah. So that was the kind of rap you had back then. You don't get that rap anymore.
No, different stuff.
And him and Tone Loc and that kind of stuff. So not like what we just saw Sunday. Most of those are hip hop rap. Yeah,
it's more serious rap. Back when in the 80s and 90s, the rap was kind of funny a little bit. Even Eminem started out funny.
Yeah.
He played "Lose Yourself"
or
Super Bowl,
MC Hammer.
and I'm like, play "Without Me." That one's better. I think.
Yeah. Well,
I think "Lose Yourself" went higher in the charts. That's
my one son was looking at the 5 artists. There was actually 6. They didn't. 50 Cent, they did not put in the promotion for it.
I don't know what he's doing. He's
hanging
upside down. Yeah.
My son's he's looking at them. He's like, boy, they're going to have to beep out the entire set. Because all their stuff is like littered with, cuss words.
Profanity. Yeah, but they
yeah.
A lot of art. There's an artist, I didn't know who she was, but she was on that Tonight Show. She sang a song that the lyric is the title's even a profanity.
Really?
But she did what CeeLo Green did and made it forget instead. So every time she sang it, it's forget. So.
Okay. So look at this. It's similar to like looking at artists like who Hall & Oates. By and large, you couldn't tell us what their albums
The
are.
big one is Toys in the Attic. Yeah.
Which is their all-time bestseller. Despite their big comeback,
Yeah.
that still ranks.
You know what? Their best-selling album is what most artists' best-selling is. Their greatest hits.
Yeah, and
we
again,
don't do those.
and greatest hits, they had to copy. For
Yeah.
greatest hits, they called their greatest hits, big ones. Who else did that?
Loverboy.
Loverboy did
had-
that.
yeah.
6 years earlier, and they, what do we call it? Big ones? Taken. Who cares? We like the double entendre. Alright, so, and then they were in that movie that you mentioned, Sgt. Pepper's
Lonely Hearts Club
Club
Band.
Band. Yeah, but once they were in that...
They weren't only in that movie. They were in Wayne's World 2.
Yeah.
After they appeared on Saturday Night Live on Wayne's World, and I mean, if you remember, the skit is where Wayne asked Aerosmith a question, and they answered like really smart political questions.
Oh, yeah.
To show that they're not just dumb rockers.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
But after their first movie appearance, they got 3 albums over an 8-year span. And what's on them? Who knows?
Yeah.
Other than that one, and that even then it's not really that popular. But they were like gone from the scene until Run DMC pulled them in. So let's go ahead and switch to our second board because that's when they had their comeback. All right, so second board, the restart to their career, 1987.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting, the other album I know from 1987 that was huge, Hysteria from Def Leppard. So to me, the 2 biggest albums that year, Permanent Vacation, Hysteria.
Yeah, but the next one was Pump. Pump was even bigger than...
Now, you said all our songs that we're going to pick on the top 10 are from these 3 albums.
Yeah. I am not going to pick Get a Grip, but I'm gonna say these 2 are equal.
They're equal?
Yeah, Permanent Vacation and Get a Grip.
I'm going to go with Pump with a slight edge to that.
Okay.
Just slight.
Yeah. Okay. See, I told you I Hangman Jury's on Permanent Vacation. I told you I like that.
And I like
Ragdoll-
Magic Touch, and I think
Yeah.
that's on Permanent Vacation
Yeah.
too.
Ragdoll. I read in the Wikipedia. Ragdoll. They originally titled it Ragtime.
Ragtime.
Okay. And there was a woman. Her name was Holly Knight, who suggested Ragdoll. That's the only contribution she did to that song, was
she's
changing
got
the title.
credits.
And she's in the credits. And it's one of the things Steve Tyler was furious because she got credit for that. That's all she
That's
did.
funny.
Changing one
Well,
word.
did she get credit because she sued? Say, give me credit because
I don't know. No.
Somebody else was in the room. Why would she- why would he be
The
furious?
label probably credited.
Okay, because they were in the room when she did it.
Right.
Steven.
Yeah, I mean, it was actually a good decision, right?
Right,
If it was
you would
Ragtime,
think.
I'm not sure it would have been bigger.
Yeah, he didn't think of it, so yeah, why not give her credit? Okay, but Angel would. I think Angel was. No, was Angel the first one? Angel was my favorite, actually.
It's probably the first one you remember.
It's the first one I remember. 1987. We're getting close.
I think that's the first
to
one I
seniors.
remember too.
Because I think of prom.
The second one I remember is probably Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Yeah,
Is that on that
I
one?
absolutely hate that title.
Yeah, but the weird thing about, okay, so you're talking about how slight edge on Pump, and I believe Pump is the album that has the 3 songs that have the little section in between that starts each song. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're actually called something else. It's a little intro. And then it goes into the song. And it does it 3 times, I believe.
The Other Side.
The Other Side
makes it sound like it's a little mini movie. Bring it to the end.
yeah.
What it is, and then it goes.
And I thought there was one that said there was like a dulcimer intro or something
okay,
like that.
Gotcha. So all 3 songs do that.
I think 3 of them do.
Okay. Well, when you're talking about Love in an Elevator, you talk about the woman who's
I think Love in an Elevator.
first floor, second floor.
I think Love in an Elevator does it too, because I think there's a little intro and then it stops.
Is
the
it
intro stops,
music?
and then it's his.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's the.
Yeah, it's music. I'll play it for
But
you.
I know for the Love in an Elevator, similar to the on the album is the same as the video.
Yeah.
The girl who's controlling the elevator, and then comes to the elevator. She's like going down. That's on the CD.
Yeah.
So you're not talking about that though.
Oh, maybe that's. Oh no, that's the intro for that.
Okay,
You're right.
yeah.
There is not a musical intro for that one.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that and I give the slight edge again. You got what?
You're probably right. That's probably
What It Takes, The Other Side, Loving in an Elevator, Janie's Got a Gun. Those are strong. That's a strong four.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, you know, Ragdoll and Dude Looks Like a Lady, I kind of put on equal footing, and I hate Dude Looks Like a Lady. I'm trying to figure out, okay, is he saying the dude looks like a lady, which is weird. It reminds me of the Kinks, Lola.
Yeah, and one.
Right?
Okay.
Or is it a girl that looks like a dude, and that's creepy in itself too. So either way, I don't like that.
Yeah, and could he put that song out now? Or would people be really offended?
I don't know. Well, they play it now still.
I know they play it now because it's a song, but
For all we know, every
kind of like Genesis and Illegal Alien, would they be able
I don't
to
know.
do
I
that
think more likely people gravitate toward it saying that's my theme song.
now? Yeah.
I don't know.
It wouldn't be Dude Looks Like a Lady, it'd be Dude Is a Lady.
Yes. Now get a grip. What's funny about Get a Grip? Okay. I think what we like, the best song we like.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I thought you were going to say the cover. The Get a Grip is
No.
Kyle's udder.
Yeah.
So immediately your image is to grab
And
Get
the
a Grip.
what? Pump has the old style car.
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah, with the gas station pump.
No, but our favorite song on there, I think, would be "Living on the Edge." "Living on the Edge," right?
Okay.
Okay, so, but every other song that was a hit, one word title. Crazy,
Angel, crazy
amazing,
crying. Yeah, crazy crying, amazing, angel. It's not on the same album, but I'm like, all these one word titles that were released
It's funny, you know,
and are all ballads.
yes, and so let's go with here. So right around here would be we would tie him into movies because he's got Edward Furlong from the Terminator 2 and Living on the Edge, right?
Right.
And I watched that video again. Are there two versions? Because I remember the version where
I only remember one.
he's driving the car towards something and ready to slam into it, and then the airbag goes off.
Okay.
I just watched a video. It doesn't have that part in it.
You might just remember something else, and you're thinking it was that.
I don't know. I thought.
Yeah, and Crazy, of course, had Alicia Silverstone to start a career.
Yes, and
she probably already did Clueless.
And I think
And his daughter, yeah.
Were they best friends?
I think they were.
Makes it look like they're best friends. They're
Yeah.
like multiple videos.
The only
together.
the thing I remember in the video is them getting piercings. She piercing her belly button, I think it was.
Yeah, that was gross.
Well, that wasn't a fad yet.
Wasn't it?
I think that probably became a fad from the video.
I might have been a fad to like
The select group.
fringe people.
Yeah.
And then that was right around that time. Also, aside from what's the movie Armageddon. So that's his daughter's movie.
Armageddon, their only #1 hit.
Is that song?
Not written by them.
Yeah.
Written by Diane
actually,
Warren.
What I did read, come Permanent Vacation, when they got popular.
Yeah.
That's when the other people started writing the material.
Yeah.
So they wrote
And
over.
there was a lot of talk, almost like Nickelback, where they were sellouts because of that. Well, like, come on! If they didn't do it, it would have been big.
Almost off the face of the planet until you do that. So how's that a sellout? You know,
You know what it is? It's envy.
Yeah.
Oh, they're rich now. You shouldn't be rich. You
Dang
should be
it, I
playing-
want you to be
You should be
bankrupt.
playing music I like. That's what instead.
And then after that song was their last big hit, Jaded. You know, one word title.
Yeah.
And that one was, so you have Jaded, which was on your top 10. Two Toys in the Attic songs were on your top 10.
Yeah.
And those are not on
Walk
the three.
This Way was. I knew I put
I
Free
think
Emotion.
so. I think so.
did Walk.
So you had 3 songs not on those albums, even though they said it's probably only going to come from these albums.
Most of them.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the year Jaded came out, that's when they had their Super Bowl halftime show. After that, you know, really 3 CDs left.
Yeah.
Well,
The
two for Aerosmith, and then one for Steven Tyler.
The biggest thing, everybody knows him now because the new generation, because he was on American Idol as a judge.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Whoever watched American Idol after the original judges.
I stopped watching
I stopped
after
five
Simon
seasons.
Cowell. Honestly, I thought Simon Cowell was the reason to watch that show.
Yeah, he was.
So
Because
once he's off,
he is brutally honest.
brutally honest, right?
Dreadful.
Now you can't be brutally honest, right?
Yeah.
And you put on the country singer, and he was like,
Simon Cowell was a really honest one. Say you suck or you dreadful. Randy Jackson was dog.
Yeah.
And then Paul Abdul was the sweet one. It's like, oh, you're
right.
so good.
But some of the best parts of that show was when they started laughing and they couldn't hold it in.
Well, but that was only the first 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it got to all the good singers because
I know, but the part to watch was
Yeah, I know.
that.
Yeah, I know. I liked watching when they put the bad people through on purpose.
Yes.
So that it was entertaining to
Right.
us, the
You
audience.
can't have it all good because then it's boring. Right. You have to have a wide variety. That's why you can't just have bands like for any decade. You can't have bands that sound alike.
There is a new show. I'm going to promote a show.
Okay.
And I'm at work, but I see it. It's on Wednesday night. It's called "I Can See Your Voice."
Oh, I heard it.
It's hilarious because there's one good. They have these people. They're lip syncing. One of them's a good singer. The rest are bad. And then the guy Ken Jeong is the one that's is the host. So and then they got celebrities behind here that are like even
So everybody's lip syncing.
There's a guy
except for
so
one.
you're a contestant and you get 15,000 per round and you try to pick who you think has the bad voice. Okay, then they lip sync and you have to kind of go by how they're lip syncing to see. And after they're done, you pick who you think has the bad voice.
Okay.
They might both have bad voices. Because they have 6 people up here and you're picking 2 of them to go. You're like, out of both of them, I think he has a bad voice. Then the person you think has a bad voice, gets to sing in front of us. And that's when it's hilarious if they're bad singing, because they sing in their bad voice. They know they're bad,
So
they show the audience
They have
laughing.
You have to have bad ones.
So that's kind of like it. But people are going on there to sing badly on purpose. It's
Right.
just because they want to be on TV. So
Okay, so as far as movies, let's get back to Aerosmith. As far as movies go, the only other thing I know for sure, I mean, there's a few others, but they did the one song, "Deuces Are Wild," from the Beavis and Butthead animated movie.
yeah.
And
I almost said, oh, didn't they do Love Roller Coaster? No, that wasn't them. That was my bad. That was
I don't know.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Oh, okay. But Bruce Willis, who was in Armageddon, did a voice in Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah, he did. That's right.
So there's a tie into their two movies.
Now, they're also on animated on The Simpsons, and they don't have any Christmas songs. They've sang Christmas songs, but they only have their own.
Weird Al. All right, so Aerosmith does have a parody done by Weird Al.
Yeah, and it's a parody of Living on the Edge called "Living in the Fridge."
It's pretty good.
Yes.
I don't know if he's connected to the video, but a lot of people do videos for his.
I didn't see. I only saw fan-made videos.
Yeah, it could be a fan-made video, but still, there's some pretty good fan-made ones out there.
Yeah, but Weird Al actually didn't make one himself. But it's about something that is
growing in the fridge.
It's been in there too long. Now it's alive.
And you said you saw the creature from the Green Slime movie?
Yeah, the fan made video put green slime creature up there like that's alive now. So
yeah, he does the silent part that Aerosmith has in their song in there.
Yeah, so he actually has a couple lines that are direct lines from this song. But I said I like the one where just before it goes,
Let me take a peek.
what is it called?
You said, "Let me take a peek."
Yeah, no. Weird Al says, "Maybe I should take a peek," but I don't remember what Steven Tyler says.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Okay, but give your Weird Al story.
All right, okay, so Weird Al, he didn't know he was famous until he went to a party and he heard somebody say, "Hey, Weird Al's here!" And he looked over and it was Paul McCartney who said it. And then he knew he made it big.
How far into his career was he?
I don't know. I didn't read that. I didn't read what year it is, but that's when.
Because you would think there's no way it got all the way to like when he did Fat.
No,
he was more popular.
Yeah,
before
well, it
that.
might have been maybe Fat. Maybe when that album when he did Fat is when he heard it. I don't know. Yeah, because he was big about that time. He did like he had like a surgeon and Eat It already. I mean,
maybe it was after Eat It because Paul McCartney did a couple songs with Michael Jackson, and if he parodied Michael Jackson,
yeah, it could be. Yeah,
he's like, hey, my buddy got parodied.
Well, it might have been after Fat because that would have been the second Michael Jackson song.
Right. Okay, so enough about Aerosmith. let's get to their top 10.
Did you want me?
All right, as I said, we're gonna have more songs than just those 3 albums. Your honorable. Now, the next one in our line, the one we didn't pick, but would have been next in line based on our voting numbers, would have been Crying. Crying. Why don't they have the G in it? Crying.
A lot of bands do.
So that would have been from Get a Grip. Okay, 2 songs I lost. Deuces Are Wild and Magic Touch. Both not really hits, but I like it. Deuces Are Wild from the Beavis and Butthead. It's really short too. I think it's less than 3 minutes long. And Magic Touch, I'm not even sure it was released, but I saw it was on the Wikipedia thing, so I put it. Yours was Jaded. That didn't make it. And that's from the Just Push Play, their last Billboard hit. Okay, now, starting with the top 10. The number 10 and 9, both come from Toys in the Attic. So, guaranteed Dream On won't be on our list.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and speaking of intros, you were talking about intros. Sweet Emotion has one of the longest intros.
I only think it was from the re-release.
Really?
Yeah, because the first time I recorded it to put on the thing I listened to, it didn't have that intro.
Okay.
So I think when I first got it, I got it from their classic Greatest Hits album.
And
So I think the re-release had the longer part.
And there's not a lot happening in there other than using that weird.
I like it though. I like it.
That alligator kind of.
It's kind of cool. It's kind of like it's my background music when I'm walking. It's
like Staying Alive with John Travolta walking.
Yeah.
Speaking of number 10, it's Walk This Way.
Walking.
From Toys in the Attic. I have this at 14. You have it as your number 10. Okay, so Walk This Way, the one that really brought them back.
That's got to be one of those songs where I listen, I'm like, I don't think I can sing it. It's too fast. Speaking it too fast. It's one of those. What did you say there? I don't know.
And I'm sure when you're singing, you would probably get words wrong because it's probably one of those. They're singing it so fast. That ain't really what he said, is it? Okay. Next one up would be Sweet Emotion. We just mentioned that one. So 2 Toys in the Attic or 10.
Yeah, Sweet Emotion. I'm just gonna tell you, embarrassing, but I told you. For the longest time, every time I heard it, I always thought they were saying wheel motion. Wheel motion makes sense. I mean,
and I have this at 12. You have it at 7. Yeah, and all their older songs. I don't know that they were branching out musically like they started to A Permanent Vacation. With the guitar solos. I mean, they had some guitar parts, but it wasn't like interesting to me. Okay, next one up would be Ragdoll. I have this at 5. You have it at 11 from Permanent Vacation. And I mentioned, he has this is one where you can tell his lips are an instrument.
yeah. No. Okay, I read this too. I read earlier in their career, they were into drugs, so they would get high, and they would watch Three Stooges shorts.
I would imagine they watched a lot of old stuff.
Well, no, the reason I bring it up is because I think he must have seen Mae West movies, because he said, "Come on up and see me,"
which is
that's a famous
movie.
line.
I think which one's that from? I'm No Angel, or
it's a famous. Regardless if you've seen any of her movies, that's that line is.
I have seen her movies, and that's from And him saying a female line is kind of awkward to me. and I always wonder, when they're writing lyrics on the sleeve of the things, do they include that part where he goes hubbity boobity boobity boo? And do you spell it out? Okay, next one up, the other awkward song from that album, Dude Looks Like a Lady from Permanent Vacation. I have this. Oh,
Yeah, you know what?
So I had Ragdoll Higher. You had this
two
one.
songs. I believe it's "Love in an Elevator" and "Dude Looks Like a Lady." What did they add to their songs? Horns.
Horn. Yeah, they're right. As a matter of fact, okay. Which one was it?
I think I recall
from a
Margarito horns. I think is what I read.
Okay. Well, I know from Love in an, you mentioned Love in an Elevator. I know at the ending, it sounds like it could be a British horn. You know, like you think about the Buckingham Palace and those soldiers out front, and when the horns are doing it, that's what the Love in an Elevator horns sound like.
You know, we always talk about other instruments and solos.
Okay.
And I would never have thought that. We talked about the harmonica. Hangman Jury has a harmonica in it. With Aerosmith. I don't know who's. I would think, man, I bet Steven Tyler plays harmonica.
He's got the lips to go around the whole harmonica.
But I heard Smoking in the Boys Room. Is that Motley Crue? It's
Yes.
Motley Crue. Yeah. I think so. They have a harmonica solo.
We could do a top 10 list on harmonicas.
Yeah, I was surprised there. I'm like, I knew this song. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have a harmonica. You wouldn't think Motley Crue and harmonica would go together.
Yeah.
But we also talked about flute solos, and I think I heard the best one. It's not a band. It only had one head. Remember Murray Head?
Yes.
One night in Bangkok, and at the interlude, you know, a little over halfway, is a flute solo. I'm like,
oh, that's right. That's right. Are you sure it's a flute?
I'm pretty sure
it's not one of those.
I was thinking it was
an instrument from the Middle East.
Yeah, the panfar. I was thinking,
Something
but I'm
like
like. No, I think it's a flute. I think it's just a flute.
Okay.
I tried to look it up, but it doesn't say online what it is.
Yeah. Well, you know, my guess is, you follow me on this, you've seen movies where somebody goes to prison and they learn harmonica.
Okay.
A lot of these people have probably been in prison for drugs.
It never said that any of them went to prison. Now, it did say they were into drugs.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler was more into drugs. Joe Perry is, he left the band.
I think there was a point where they said, "Don't do drugs anymore."
Yeah, they all went to rehab, and just when Permanent Vacation
probably
was their first,
you want to keep your career
it was their
going.
first album they did sober.
You want to keep your career going, stay off.
But Steven Tyler, he was so much into drugs. Twice he passed out on stage and didn't finish the set because he was on the floor.
Wow, yeah. Saw a comedian, the comedian.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Heather McDonald, she passed out.
There was a reporter that did the same thing. She was.
Yes. And Bob Saget apparently had a head trauma. So
yeah.
Whether those are related to a specific drug that's out there.
That's all we'll say about that.
Okay, so anyways, back to Dude Looks Like a Lady. I had this at number 6. You had it at number 8. Okay, one more up. What It Takes. I have this at 7. You have it at 5. So we have 2 that come from Pump in a row here. And that has a drum intro. Bo-do-do-do-do. It's a slow drum intro, but and does that have a harmonica at the end?
I don't recall.
Or is that an accordion? It sounds like actually.
Oh yeah, it might be accordion. Yeah.
So a lot of instruments again in the 80s. Although Come Pump, that was started in '89 and that one came out in 1990. So of course, once you did more of the good instruments in 1990, your career faded.
Yeah,
because music changed. Alright, so did I say I had this at 7, you had it at 5. Now, here's what surprised me with the next one. Number 5 is The Other Side. That has that weird intro.
Yeah.
You have this as your second favorite Aerosmith
and
song.
that might have the panfare finish.
Yeah. That's right. It almost sounds like it's a Western theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, when they do in their video, by any chance, do they have something going when that's going? I think it is.
Maybe.
And I think it might be sped up, like fast forward.
Okay.
So that's your number 2. How is that your number 2? I don't think it's got that much going on to it that could be your second favorite Aerosmith song. I put it down.
You don't know me.
I put that at number 8. That's how far down it should be. Okay, next one up is Angel from Permanent Vacation. I have this at number 3, and you have this at number 6. Also a drum intro, right? And again, this was back in the time where we were in high school, so prom was coming here. I think this is why I like Angel, you like somebody in school, and suddenly all these slow songs are like, hey, I like that.
It's a nostalgia memory thing.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the song. I mean, crappy
There's
song.
emotions that come to me. They start crying, which is also one of those songs.
Yes. All right. Number 3 from Pump is "Love in an Elevator." Both of us have this at number 4. And what do I have about that one? Yeah, that ending sounds British to me. Oh, by the way, that "What It Takes," I find this funny because a lot of artists do that. When they get to the middle, they'll say guitar.
Yeah, because of that, I was like, I'm gonna look up how many Def Leppard did it. Was Steve? Who else?
Poison did it.
Poison did, yeah.
Well,
Poison
sometimes they'll say the guitarist's name, like Heart of Rock and Roll. Huey Lewis goes, Johnny.
Well, Def Leppard goes, guitar, Steve. He does that.
Yeah.
But you're talking about Steve Clark, but maybe.
Yes, I don't know why they do that. We know once it comes, it's a guitar. Why do you have to tell it's?
But Def Leppard even goes, drums. That one song.
Does anybody say that about another instrument, or is it always guitar?
The bass player's like, what about me? It's the bass.
That's right. All right, number.
You never hear somebody go, vocals. That would just sound weird. Somebody do it?
No, I'm just going to tell you. Today, one of the big things about today's music, when it comes to hip hop, is the artist has to put their name in the lyrics.
No.
Why?
The guy Jason Derulo. He always has to have his name at the beginning.
Everybody
of the song.
does it. Even Dua Lipa's song, what is it? The Levitating. Dua Lipa and the Baby. Why are you telling us your names?
Well,
all right, number 2. Living on the Edge. I have this at number 2. You have it at number 3, and I'm sure that silent part where it sounds like
then he comes in with the
you
drums.
just hear the air, like when you're flying or something, and then
Now Aerosmith didn't do that. The producers put the special effect. Hold on, never mind. What was I saying earlier? I was going to bring up.
Okay, so I was telling you that the part we like is the part again. Weird Al doesn't.
Oh yeah.
Where there's suddenly
when they stop and you hear the wind.
Do you hear the wind? Right. And so
And I said,
what is it the edge of?
Right. I said maybe they're on the edge of a building up high. Yeah. And so if you're on the edge, it's windy up there, and you can hear the wind come by. And
you hope the
next song is
boom,
not Van
boom,
Halen's,
boom is not the splatter.
or that you hope the next song is not Van Halen's jump.
Yeah. Well, I do say this. Now, you try to match the beat. When it gets to the, if you're a drummer, you're like, okay, time it, boom, boom. If you're wrong, you're like, dang it.
Yeah.
I missed. Okay, so that's number 2. And then number 1, JD's Got a Gun. Both
Yes. It's got to be because of the music.
It's the intro of that.
Yeah,
It's odd.
Yeah, because the message
Right.
of the words,
Right. Yeah.
it sounds good. I like the lyrics. I can quote a lot of them and sing along with it.
It sounds like a dad who deserves to be shot.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's a revenge song. Somehow, it's one of those things like, yeah, turn it up.
Yeah, no. Everybody listening to the song is like, she'll get out of jail.
So JD's Got a Gun again. That's why we got Love in an Elevator and JD's Got a Gun is 2 of our top 3. That's why I think Pump is the best album, even though Permanent Vacations, when they came back.
Do you know anybody named JD?
No.
Or is it her nickname is somebody named Jane?
We used to have a JD that came to our
Oh yeah, our church, yeah.
Don't say her last name. All right, so now get this. So Toys in the Attic was their number 1 selling. Get a Grip and Pump. They couldn't even tell, when I read on the history, they couldn't even tell me what was the second because they were like almost identical. So they just grouped them both as number 2. Yeah, so Permanent Vacation wasn't even in the top 3. Even though people I imagine a lot of people say that's their favorite because that's where the comeback
Yeah.
is.
Okay, here's one thing they said on Wikipedia about Aerosmith. It is the best-selling. They've had the most sold albums of all bands. If that makes sense, they've sold the most albums of any band.
Okay, when you group everything.
Normally, when you read it, it said this band is one of the best-selling albums.
Okay.
It did not say they were one of the best. It said they were the best-selling artist.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You would think with as
So
many...
they've sold like 180 million or something.
Well, you would think the Beatles would be up there just
I would think that too, but maybe
as many albums
maybe
as they put out.
it was rock bands. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's one of the things that Wikipedia said. So I didn't research it further than that.
And you can trust
Yes, you
Wikipedia for all information.
Yeah, you can't be. The thing about Wikipedia is that you can go on there and edit something.
Well, you can, but apparently when something
Oh,
comes to editing,
people are.
somebody verifies your edits.
Yeah, I know.
I've actually edited something,
Yeah.
and it stayed.
Okay.
So, and if you're on one side, sometimes they'll say no misinformation.
Yeah. Well, you
fact.
you can't say a fact is an opinion, but like the highest selling album band, you can say something like that because you can prove it.
Yes.
This is the best band. This band sounds the best out of anybody. You can't say that because that's.
I like this. Nope. All right. So there's your Aerosmith top 10. Do you agree? Of course you do, because
we're right.
If you didn't agree with us, then you're wrong. That's not how I meant, guys. If we agreed with you, then we'd all be wrong. That's what it goes. Okay, so who we doing? Who we doing next week?
All right, his moniker is the boss. If you know who that is,
Right, everybody.
He ain't my boss.
Everybody's got a boss, but it's not your
I'm
boss.
still waiting for a paycheck from him.
Yes. There's a boss. There's your boss. There's our boss. And
There's the boss.
The boss. He's the boss.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah. You can say this about a lot of artists, but for him, it really rings true. He was born in the USA. All right, till then, I'll see you next week.
bye.
Bye. Let's see, we're gonna tape the lamp, just you and the lamp.
Is it still going? It's taping with that on the backside.
That's why you're saying that's a blooper.
Yes.